Good morning, everyone. I'm headed over to, you might be able to see it in that sign, the Don Garlits Drag Racing Museum. Don Big Daddy Garlits. Antiques, Race Cars, Drag Racing Hall of Fame. 9 to 5. Closed Christmas and Thanksgiving. Old Texaco gas pumps and sign. See what it looks like inside. A little bit of rust. Antique, early Ford V8, antique engines, muscle cars, cruising customs. Museum of Drag Racing, Hall of Fame, Walk of Fame, gift shop, and offices. USS America, Navy. Looks like that'd be a fun plane to fly. Open 7 days a week, 9 to 5. Closed Thanksgiving and Christmas. Do not touch cars. Do not walk on carpet.
National championship in Great Bend, Kansas. That was the car he took to the 1959 Smokers meet in Bakersfield, California.
World's largest drag trophy. Kind of, I guess that's in Texas.
Don had come west to challenge the West Coast elite of drag racing, one of the most highly attended events of its time. And his appearance there demanded one of the highest appearance fees as well.
Wow, man, he's got a lot of trophies.
Money from the drag strips for showing up. Barnstorming, we call it. I used to have a map with the pins, and it was unbelievable where I'd been.
I guess that's Don.
The 60s have been called the golden era of drag racing, with its sleeker designs and faster engines. And during that period of time, two future Hall of Famers emerged on the scene. Don, the Snake Prudhomme, and Chris, the Greek Karamessinas. Don Prudhomme began his career with the car clubs of
Maybe that was
California.
Don Prudhomme.
When I got into Road Kings, that's about 19 maybe, 18, 19 years old. When I got into the Road Kings, that was a big deal. I was one of the youngest members, and
I remember him
treated,
and Don
like
Garlits.
a young member, and got initiated, and then I had to carry a rickshaw through a Bob's drive-in, big Bob's Van Nuys, drive-in with Bob Moran.
We'll look at the engine collection after this room.
Don's car was known as the Greer Black Prudhomme car, one of the all-time classic cars in drag racing history.
I was really fortunate to drive for Dave Zuchel and Kit Fuller, and of course, Greer Black Prudhomme car. That was
It's a dragster.
That car was, oh wow, that car was pretty.
Shirley Modowney. I think I remember that name. So this is more than just Don. I think that's, I don't know if that's all his trophies. I have to check on that. So that's Shirley's dragster.
I always wanted to race the best. And who was ever the best at the time, I wanted to beat him, whoever thought whoever was close to me.
I guess this car was from the 1991 Dodge. Oh, it's a 1991 Dodge Daytona. 1990, 1991 NHRA Pro Stock World Championship titles. That's pretty cool. Roy Hill. Some engines. Swamp Rat 33, 1988 salt liner. Okay, so looks like Don Garlits and Rich Venza may have driven this one. Here's the story. Might have to look this up, see if I can find something on this one. Tom Mongoose McEllen. I remember the mongoose. Wow, this place is big. Okay, we'll do this place, this side next. Mongoose, 76 to 82. Yep, I remember the mongoose. Pocket rocket. Well, that's a small car. Magwinder, Chuck Jones. Speed Sport. The Bug, 1941, 1950. Oldsmobile Rocket. Okay, so that's the Bug right there. And then this one is the Bustle Bomb. Boy. Look at that thing. Let's see, this is the '44 Steamliner. Big Daddy Don Garlits. Carcraft bikes. Those look fun. The Tantor. The thing's long. Don Garlits. 1972 Winds Charger.
It weighs about 1,500 pounds, and it will go around.
They were all swamp rat.
Oh,
okay. He had numbers for them.
Swamp Rat number 21.
That's probably when he
Looks like he had a lot of swamp rats. Number 22. Swamp Rat number 28. Navy. Had a lot of swamp rats. Swamp Rat 27 Sidewinder. One, two, three, four, 8 carburetors. 8 carburetors on that thing. Swamp Rat 1. Ooh. So Swamp Rat 1 was his first Chrysler Hemi-powered fuel dragster. I like that one. That's cool.
But he didn't make it through the end because his car blew up, but he would have won that race.
Okay, let's move on to the next aisle. The Boll Weevil. Big Daddy.
This is it.
Yeah.
That's Swamp Rat 25. This is Swamp Rat 24. That'd be a neat career.
That's not the kind of horse
Swamp Rat 19. Max Wedge Dodge 1962. That must be his sister. Tampa, Jacksonville, Massey Motors. The Bounty Hunter.
Oh, I tell you, it was horrible. Never once did I want to quit racing. But I knew if I continued to race, it would kill me. Drag racer. He thinks because the engine is located in front of the driver, the explosion is caused by the greater harm.
Yeah, you have some engines in the front of the driver and some behind the driver. Listening to a video right now that sounds like the engine in front of the driver was more dangerous, and they switched to the engine behind the driver. Like these.
Stay close by so you don't have to drive all over.
Interesting, I never knew that. This looks old. First dragster. Don Garlits' first dragster, 54-55. You can tell it almost looks homemade, the frame construction. All right, next row. That's a neat looking car. AMT Piranha, 1966. Seltzer Batera, 1972, top fuel dragster. Engine in the back. Swamp Rat 4B, 1962. Jocko's Porting Service. 1959. Wynn's Liner, 72 to 73. Herm Peterson, 1974. Jim Butcher, World's Fastest Chevy, 1940 to 1977.
They were afraid of the weight car. They were all steel motors. We didn't have aluminum motors in those days. So they said, okay,
Big Daddy.
but you're the only one. We don't know anyone else.
Don Garlits Swamp Rat, 29, 1985. Look how long that is. Don Prudhomme, Gary Cochran. Chris Carmen is Pete Robertson, Connie Coletta, Creech Gear and Donovan, John Webb. I think I've showed this one already.
Arrows in their rear end, or else you have some luck. So you got a 50-50 chance of it working.
So going back to that, did you ever kiss Cynthia Peppers on one of the episodes?
Yeah, you know.
Man, that's two engines.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Looks like two engines.
That Morgan show was so much fun. I was, as I say,
Wonder how that works.
I got to kiss her once in a while, but that was about it. Most of the time I was Haywood. It was just a pain in the neck to everybody. But I love situational comedies. And I
All right. Spirit of America. That's probably, let's see, it says built in 64. Don Prudhomme's Mattel Dragster. Ooh, Hot Wheels. Be neat to have that in Hot Wheel. Don the Snake Prudhomme Army. Snake and Mongoose Hot Wheels again. Don Prudhomme's Wedge Dragster. I'm gonna have to look some of this up. See how they did. Hey, how's it going? No, kind of shy. That's okay. Big Daddy's first rear engine car, 77-1. Which is supposed to be safer. The blue car, 1957. Swamp Rat 7. The Greek Fleet, 65 to 73. Also known as, I guess, the Wedge. Pandemonium 3. Bob Sullivan.
Well, the first mechanical trick, and that's what brought on the body on the front of Swamp Rat 1, was the great big fuel lines. I realized when I watched Cook and Bedwell run that they had to pump the tank up in the middle of the course because it run down. Well, they didn't have enough fuel flow through the half-inch line, so I had a very big 1-inch line up front. And so we covered it all up with the body and hid it in the frame rails, and that was on there for a couple of years before Sally picked up.
Okay, now on to the next room. That looks pretty cool. John Force. Okay, now he's more recent. These may be more recent cars. Not sure. Man, that's a huge car. Gosh. The amount of money that's poured into these now compared to back when Prudhomme and Garlits started out, man. I bet it's crazy how much money that are put in these now. Look at that little thing. That'd be fun. '84 Pontiac Trans Am, which, yeah, that looks nothing like a Trans Am. Blue Max. Now remember the Blue Max. Ford Mustang funny car. 84. Guy standing in the way. Yep, I remember the Blue Max. Shirley Moo Downey. Okay, some more older ones. Swamp Rat 1961, Swamp Rat 1960, Swamp Rat 2 Chevrolet 1958, Swamp Rat 2 Buick 1957, Garlits Brothers rear engine dragster 1957. I guess if you want to read these, you can pause it. Tennessee Boll Weevil, Jungle Jim, okay, there's some motorcycles. Another real small one. Mini dragster. 65 miles per hour. '27 T, 1954. It's a 62 Plymouth Max Wedge and a 1962 Plymouth Max Wedge. Oh, look at that car. Roadster Dart. Plastic body, steel tubing, funny car to exceed 200 miles per hour. First car to do that. Big Owl 2, 1964. One-piece fiberglass body. Pollutionizer. V12 Allison engine. It's in this dragster. Late 50s dragster. (1934) Ford Coupe. (1934) Ford 554. '34 sedan. Bob Wood. Bill Grumpy Jenkins. Barbara Johns 409, 1963. Bruce Larson USA 1, 1966 Chevelle. Chevelles are nice looking cars. 1941 Willys. '37 Willys. And this place has a lot of dragsters in it. More swamp rats. silver dollar. Bean Bandit Special, $52.53. U.S. Navy rocket car.
Never had any doubts about the wheel, what this man can do behind the wheel, and he just proved it out there to everybody. He drove the car. It wasn't going to give it to him if he didn't get after it real aggressively on the wheel up there.
It's some motorcycle dragsters. JJ Motors, let's see, Harley Davidson, 113 cubic inch, alcohol fuel, 4-speed air shifter. And then there's, back there's a 3-speed automatic Harley. Let's see. Dragster bike. I guess that's a demonstration of the 5-speed case transmission. And here's one that was Swamp Rat 31. Apparently that was wrecked. Yep. Looked like he flipped this one. It's in pretty decent shape. Now that is not a dragster, it's just a motorcycle. See if I can get a better look at it. It says darn Garlits, 1986 U.S. Nationals, 3 in a row. I don't know, maybe that was a prize. Not sure.
That was the old.
Okay, this is the engine room. See the pistons moving from the turbo. Pretty cool. Boy, this museum has everything, and it has a lot of it. Here's Big Daddy himself. Okay, there's another dragster bike. Triumph. 1973 Triumph. Bonneville.
And there were no national titles won that year either.
So I decided I would blow up the 426 in the match race at Rockford, go home and get my 392 equipment and tell Chrysler I didn't need the deal anymore.
Dragster motorcycle. 1979. Well, that was pretty cool. If you like cars, especially if you like dragsters, racing, any of that stuff, I would highly recommend Don Garlits Drag Racing Museum. Now, I did that building there. I haven't done this one, so I have a ticket to go into that one. But I'm gonna go get me something to eat first, because I'm hungry. And then we'll do this other building, and then we'll head back home. Right now, just ate back at the museum. I'm gonna go in the Antique Car Museum, the second building. And they gave me this pass to get in there. And you got till 5 o'clock, you can come and go all day long, which is kind of nice. A 1932 convertible coupe. $1946 Deuce of Hearts. There's Betty Boop. $1904 Whizzer. No, thought that was a real guy there. So that would be Don laying there working on his car. '39 Ford. Wow, man, he has a lot of cars in here. '40 Chop Top. '40 Ford Convertible Club Coupe. Wow, these are nice. 1940 Ford Winfield Coupe. Some parts. 1940 Ford Tudor. Another 40 Tudor. 1940 Mercury convertible sedan. 42 Sport convertible. There's oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. '49 Ford Custom two-door. 1950 Ford Tudor. That's a two-door, and that's a Tudor. It's also a Tudor. 1950 Ford. 50 lead sled. Interesting. 50 Mercury. 67 Ford Fairlane 500 Ranchero. Man, can you imagine driving that one? Ooh, 64.5 Mustang. It was a race car. Convertible, 66. I had a 66 coupe. It wasn't a convertible. Marilyn Monroe, Chrysler Victory Siren. Wow, that's a big siren, man. When Russia obtained the 100 megaton hydrogen bomb. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Packard Club Coupe, 1940. So that big old engine just ran that siren. Wow, that's crazy. 56 Chrysler 300B. This looks original. Purchased for drag racing. Man, look at the size of that engine. Wow. Hemi V8 354. 375 horsepower. Was it 426? 428. And a 231. Corvair, 1969 Corvair convertible. Man, these are beautiful cars. Okay, that's a 69 and that's a 65. Pretty sure. '66 Dodge Cornet. 426 Hemi. My dad had a Dodge Cornet station wagon. It didn't have a 426 Hemi in it. Man, he's got a collection here. Wow. '87 Bearcat Camaro. Now there's some cars in the back too.
If we go down this side, this is the command.
Crossley station wagon, 1948. Never heard of or seen one of those. Crossley Hot Shot. This old jukebox. Looks like dashes. A whole bunch of engines in the center. (1948) Ford Coupe. 1939 Ford Deluxe Coupe. 1939 Ford Coupe Deluxe. So that's a Deluxe Coupe, and that's a Coupe Deluxe. 1937 Ford 5-window Coupe. Man, cars really had style back then. 37 Ford Coupe. 37 Ford Roadster. There's Marilyn and Betty back there together. 37 Ford half-ton pickup. Wow. Originally purchased from a horse farm in Ocala in the early 1970s. Big Daddy drove it for many years between his home in Selfner and his store, High Performance World, in downtown Tampa. So he repainted it and then pretty much did a frame-off restoration. Oh, he learned to drive in a 37 Ford pickup truck on his parents' dairy farm in Sulphur Springs, Florida. 36 Ford Coupe.
That front end was really something. When you're driving this car around, you don't know that that thing sticks out so far, and it's really easy to bump into something. Now this is my wife's 1969 Dodge Charger with a Hemi with 4 on the floor. She picked this out herself and bought it with her own money.
Firefly 2.
Tell you how much she likes it. A few years ago, when the cars were really going high on the numbers, the guy offered her $100,000 for it. She turned it down. I said, honey, please sell this car. And she didn't. Of course, they came down.
Dodge Cornet 500, 67. (1904) Orient buckboard. 1909 Surrey Model 10. 1909 Buick Model 10. 1913 Metz Roadster. 1926 Model T Touring. Old Model T. They made a lot of those. Ford Depot Hack 23. 1923. 1925 Chevrolet wreck body truck. 1931 Chevrolet. 1940s Willys. 1940 Studebaker. 1948 Studebaker. That's a big truck.
We didn't mind tearing one of them up to get the 392 engine out. This is a really nice one.
Phil Baumgarten, Fort Lauderdale. Sand, coal, gravel. It's a 47 Studebaker. Dump truck.
Real nice job on it. Of course, being rust-free makes it all the better. But this thing is really heavy.
Studebaker Commander, 1951. Smoky Unix hot vapor car, 86 Pontiac Fiero. I think that was the plastic car. The body panels are plastic. I'm not going to touch it because it says do not touch. Hey, there's Wolfman and Maryland. Wolfman Jack. 4-door 1949 Plymouth. 56 Chrysler Dwight D. Eisenhower. Man, look how long and big that car is. 54 Chrysler, New Yorker. And some engines. '82 Suzuki three-wheeler. Man. Holy moly. What is that? Looks like a lawnmower. Not sure, it doesn't have a label or anything. But it looks just like a lawnmower. Let's see if you can see any blades under there. I'll have to look at that later. That a T-Bird? Kind of looks like a T-Bird. Yeah, Thunderbird. Wow. Fairlane 500. It's a fire truck. 1944 Chevrolet 2-ton pumper. '35 Plymouth 6 sedan. '32 Dodge Coupe. '31 Ford sedan Matilda Dodge. '22 Buick. 1905 to 1929 Moon. $3,000 automobile. Wow. But I guess that was a lot back then. This is a nice collection, man. Old Coca-Cola machine. Okay. I think I need to go this way.
And that tells you for sure that you're dealing with the Mustang. See the generator setting over there? Beautiful orange. We love that color. It's a little coupe. My wife drove it all over. We had a great time. Should have never sold it. Of course, we always sell it. Here's a 1954
'36 Ford Roadster. '35 Roadster. Early '50s hot rod. '34 Ford Cabriolet. '34 Ford. '32 three-window coupe. '32 Ford Roadster. '32 Ford Deluxe three-window coupe. 1929 Ford Model A two-door. Ford 1928 Roadster pickup.
Yeah, that's that little thing he puts on. Like I said. Probably gonna be stuff with silver the rest of the year.
All right, I think I made it through everything. So now I'm gonna take some pictures and then head out. 54 MG, 74 Common Gia. There's a Bug back there. Corvette 2003 anniversary model. 55 Delray Coupe. There's a fire truck again. All right, so that's it. Man, this place is nice. It is a nice collection. A lot of beautiful cars in here. Beautiful older cars. A few newer ones too. But yeah, I highly recommend this place. This is the Antique Car Museum. Part of the Don Garlits Museum. All right, I saw this going out. Thought it looked pretty cool. So the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame is here also. The Museum of Drag Racing and Hall of Fame. So both of them are here. And I guess these are the people currently in the Hall of Fame. That's pretty neat. That dragster up there. Let's see, I don't know if this is the same list or not. I'll take a picture so I can see it better. No, it looks like different names. Let me get on the other side of the sun. Oh, I guess the additional names here. That looks pretty cool. A dragster pointing up towards the heavens. So a monument donated by Winston Drag Racing here also. National Hot Rod Administration or Association, National Hot Rod Association. Dixie Rebels. All right, little park here with the dragster monument and Hall of Famers. Pretty cool. All right, Jeff is headed out. Jeff at Retired and Winging It